Cunningham. Coach will have you open, and then we'll take questions. And reminder, media, please identify your outlet when you're speaking. Thank you.
I'm sad, obviously, for us. It's our last Pac-12 tournament game. That's the unfortunate thing because this is a great conference that just has a great tradition. So sad to see that, and a lot of great teams and coaches. But this was a great game. We battled. I want to give credit to USC. They're a really good team. I think it's going to do a lot of special things, and especially for the next 4 years with Juju Watkins. She's a handful. She's hard to guard, and they're a really good team. So I want to wish them luck in the tournament, and they've done it. Lindsay's done a good job there. But as far as our team with 7, we battled. We've had 7 and haven't had a lot of bodies to practice, but we go out and we fight. I told our players today we won every quarter but the first quarter. The first 5 minutes we got punched, and that was the difference in the game because that's one of the reasons why we lost. We won all the other 3 quarters, so we had chances to win just like we did last time against them, but we just came up too short. So I'm proud of us.
In front row.
PJ Brown, Arizona Daily Star. This is for Breya. We saw you really take it up a notch today. We've watched you grow over the season, but today you were going up for shots strong. You were in great position. You had your hands on different things. You even double faked at one time. What was it for today that you sort of knew you needed to step up like that? You didn't look like a freshman today.
I don't know. I guess it was just like the situation of the game. Like it's either you win or you go home. Like so, I guess it was just that. And coming off of that loss, like we should have won that second game we played against them. So kind of just that. I guess we're like resentment from that game carried over, and just wanting to, do everything I can to help my team win. So
We're going to go in the back here and then over to this side.
Yeah, David Kelly, Wildcats Radio, 1290 for Adia and Helena. Just how did you assess what happened there at the backside of the third quarter after you got up 4 and they were able to retake the lead with the 12-2 run?
Well, we were supposed to – you're saying about the last play?
The last part of the third quarter when they went on the 12-2 run.
Well, I think we just were reaching and we were a little bit undisciplined, and they were driving to the basket, a couple offensive rebounds. I don't know. I have to look at film. I don't know exactly what else happened, but I'm assuming that's what happened. And honestly, in the third quarter, for a chunk of time, we struggled getting organized offensively. We had a couple people in foul trouble, so we played a little bit bigger to try to help us with rebounds, but just kind of were a little bit stagnant on offense. So we tried to have some adjustments to correct that. But I think when we got tired, they kind of wore on us, and they got easy shots. Then they had easy drives because we're out of position. We were trapping on the all balls in the middle of the floor, and they started to hit the roll in that quarter, and they hadn't really done it because our traps were really effective earlier in the game, but I think just a little fatigue made us a little bit slower to things.
Michelle in the back row, and then Willie next.
Michelle.
Hi, Michelle Smith. The next, for you, where do you guys get the reservoir of energy with 7 players to play at the intensity level that you guys do?
I mean, we kind of have no choice. Like, we only have 7 people, so, like, we can't, like, there's no, like, slowing down or, like, hoping, like, I can get a sub or anything. You just have to push through it and, like, find that second win. So, yeah.
Willie Ramirez with the Associated Press. Adia, 12 out of 10 on the outfit, first of all.
Oh, thanks. You're always just the nicest two in the room, And it fits perfect. That has to be tailor-made because you're kind of buff, man. But
Thank you. You mentioned Juju in your opening statement.
Yeah.
The freshman, earlier today we saw Donovan Hunter. You have a slew of freshmen as well. Can you just talk about the poise that we're seeing with the freshmen throughout this conference?
Yeah, we have a great conference. And the only good thing about us not being in the Pac-12 anymore is I don't have to see Juju too many more times, so that's kind of great. But no, we do have we have good, talented freshmen, and a lot of them. I'll talk about ours, Breya, and then a lot of people forget Montea is also a freshman that got hurt. She's very talented. You know her out of Vegas. And then we have Breya, Jada, Skylar. They are 3 freshmen that are really good, and they've gotten better throughout the season. And I think the fortunate thing for them is because we have 7, they're in great opportunities for learning. So which has kind of made us, we've lost some games because of lack of experience, but it's going to pay dividends next year because of all the experience they are getting, like today. We played 4 overtime games. These are things that I can't simulate in practice that they're getting in real time against really good players. Breya battled all night against Rhea Marshall. Rhea's a pro. She's going to be a WNBA player, and she's going to probably be dunking in the pros. But she battled against her, and that says a lot, but it's teaching her a lot. It's teaching her what it's like, and it's making her better. Jada's been going against Charisma Osborne and all these great point guards throughout the year. And Skylar, too, and Skylar's just gone like this. So they've all improved so much, and their experience now, or the experience they're getting now, is going to pay off later. And the example I always use is UCLA last year. They played Kiki and London a lot, and now Kiki and London play like juniors or seniors. So that's what I'm hoping that this group will do, because they're the future. They're the foundation, and they're the ones that we're building around. And we just add Monte in that mix. So I'm excited to see what the future brings for them, and we're going to add some really good pieces around them. So I'm proud of their growth and their resilience. It's hard for freshmen to battle against Cameron Brink, all these phenomenal players, and you're a freshman and you're learning. I mean, Breya's never left the key as a post player in high school. Post players, just when you're tall, you just sit in the paint. And we're asking her to trap, we're asking her to deny, we're asking her to guard perimeters because it's the college game. And I think they've all stepped up and done a really good job.
We're going to take 2 questions in the front and then up here in the back.
Kim Doss from Arizona Desert Storm, and this is for Helena and Adia. There was a point late in the game where you guys turned it over like 4 or 5 times, and they stretched it back out to 12. For most of the game, you were taking care of the ball, but at that point, what was different about them or about you? Were you rushing? What was going on?
I think we didn't really know how to do our press offense. I think we were just like rushing, and they were just making a good press, so we didn't really know. But I mean, after like some minutes, I think we just like fixed it, and it was better.
And sometimes, so that's the downfall about having a limited bench, because as Mary's usually our 4 in that situation, we were with 2 5s. So that makes it hard, because then we're playing someone out of position, and Jada was in a little bit of foul trouble, so we needed another ball handler on the floor. So things like that with the lack of depth hurt, because that press did affect us. We're supposed to have someone in the middle, and then I can't have her in 3 different spots, even though I try to sometimes. So that was hard, and we had you don't want to bounce pass in those press situations. We had some bounce passes there, but I'm putting Isis in a tough situation. I wasn't mad because I'm putting her in a situation that's really hard in the middle of the press against pressure, so there was a couple turnovers there. So those things are just, some of them are young mistakes, but some of them were lack of people in different positions. Like a lot of times we played bigger today. That puts us Mary's at the 3, so then we're not as good, that takes away a really good 4 rebounder for us. So it's kind of like I'm trying to put these pieces together and trying to force them to fit. But you gotta do what you gotta do.
In the front here, Alexa.
Alexa Phillips with ESPN. Adia, you mentioned it briefly, but just the way that this team has been able to continue to fight and show that resilience, especially over the past few weeks. What about that has impressed you the most? And then a second one, if I could, facing Juju Watkins 3 times now in a month. You guys did a really good job on her today, for the most part, but what stands out about her to you?
So the first thing, Juju, she's a really good player, like we all know, but I think what makes her special is she has good size. She's about 6 foot, probably 6'2" with that bun. And she's dynamic, so she can handle the ball. She's an athlete. She does a really good job of creating space. She's improved her shooting from high school, so now she's able to hit the 3. She's able to go downhill at will. And because she's always in attack mode, you got to guard her. Really effective in transition and just kind of isolation. And it's hard, so we tried to trap her. I thought we did a very good job on her last 2 games. We held her to a season low today. And, she was working her butt off. But we knew she was going to score. It was just make her less efficient, make her work really hard to score. So I felt like the first couple minutes we let her go off, though. I think besides that, we did a really good job on her. But I think that's what makes her special. You put a smaller guard, she'll post you up. You put a bigger player, she'll pull you outside. And she's just really good. So thank God she's going to a different league. And then the next thing, just what impresses me about this group is despite the changes in the roster, despite what's going on, they battled and they believed and they were bought in. I mean, whatever I could say, do this, do that. They're going to do it, and they're going to do their best, and they're going to try it, and they're going to ride for it. And they have heart. They don't give up. We could have gave up. We got punched in the face the first 5 minutes. We could have gave up. It could have been a 30-point game. USC is 25 points better than us. And that didn't show on the score, but they are. I mean, position by position and depth and experience, they're better. But there isn't a game that we haven't been in probably 2 games this year that was at USC and at home at UCLA. But every other game we've been in, to the top teams in the country, we've lost by a possession. So because we have heart, we battle, we believe, and they just fight. And that we're the only team in the Pac-12 that starts 3 freshmen. So I think with that, I just give them credit because they just do whatever they're told, and they try, and they believe, and I think they just have heart, and that's the kind of kids I want to coach. So it's been more rewarding this year to coach them and be just not as good or have as much depth than it is some of the better teams. Because the better teams, sometimes people think they've arrived, and our kids are just hungry and just like, trying their hardest and playing their heart out. For 40 minutes, Helena's averages, she's ¡1 at Pac-12 in minutes at like 39 a game. She played 40 minutes multiple times. I think tonight she played, what did she play? I gave her a couple breaks. She played 39 minutes and 22 seconds. So that is a break for Helena, because usually it's 40, and he's like, I'm like, damn, I played her 40 minutes. I don't even realize it sometimes, but I mean, and that's with guarding their best player. She guarded Juju for how many minutes did Juju play? Juju played 34 minutes. She guarded her for 33. So that's a lot, and that says a lot. So I think I'm just proud of them, their fight and their will, and just who they are.
Okay, we're going to take one question up here and then one more in the back.
Jenna Fink, KVOA News 4 Tucson. Given all the things that you've just said, we know you've believed that your team is a tournament team. Why should the selection committee put you guys in?
Because we deserve to be there. I mean, I think we just showed everybody. I think we've showed the country. With starting 3 freshmen and the way we played, how we battled, the position we've been in all these top teams. I mean, they're number 5 in the country, with the best freshmen in the country. And we battled, and we had chances to win the game. And this is their first time there. So we have 8 players, and 6 have not been here. So I think that there's no doubt. And every single time we play against one of these teams, they say it. So I just think there's no doubt we're in the tournament, or if they choose it. I'm not the one voting, but I think we've proven that. So, and we're in the best conference in the country. I would like to see our 7th, 8th place teams in our conference battle the ACCs or any other conference, and we'll beat them. I mean, Cal's good. All of our 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th teams are good, and we'll beat the other conference teams. I just think it's always the West Coast bias. They're not watching us at midnight. They're not writing about us. They're not talking about us, and we don't give us enough credit. And that's the unfortunate thing about the Pac-12. It's never gotten the love and the flowers it deserves, and that's been the story because of our TV deal. So the fortunate thing for us about going to the Big 12 was we were going to get that, and we'll get more national exposure. So I think, yeah. I mean, well, I'll ask you guys. You guys think we should be in the tournament, honestly? What do you think? Okay, I agree.
Okay, one final question here in front.
This one's for Breya again. You've been a teammate of Helena's all season, and you see what she does day in and day out. Over the last couple weeks of the season, she's even upped her game even more. What's it like for you to be a teammate of someone like Helena? I mean, tonight, she scores, she gets 6 assists, 6 steals. She's in on everything, and she's directing traffic. What are you seeing from her, especially in these last few weeks?
I think as a freshman, I think I couldn't play with a better point guard. Helena, like you said, she directs everything. I learn a lot from Helena. She's the most unselfish player that I've played with. She's always playing for us rather than herself. So, yeah, I don't know. I think everybody's just playing a little bit harder these last couple games just because of the stake of we gotta win a couple more games to get considered for the tournament, and this tournament it's win or go home, so things like that. And yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do when Helena leaves next year, so we're gonna fill that gap. But other than that, yeah, I love Helena.
But can I say last things? Congratulations to Helena. She broke the all-time steals record.
Oh, really?
Arizona, so I'm really, really proud of her. Yeah, Ari's not gonna be mad at you. Don't worry. So,
All right, good
thanks
note to end
everyone.
on. Thank you.